Hello again everybody, this is Gusto. Today I'm going to be reviewing a vintage item, a relic of the 1970s. And this item you may have seen reviewed before, but it took me quite some time to get my hands on one of these. And what it is a Coast Guard approved lifeboat and life raft survival ration named NEWTRO. This states that it contains over 3,700 calories. And if we look on the exterior, you can see the components showing malted milk tablets, fortified biscuits, CC pieces, and chocolate crunchles. And you can look there for the ingredients. In addition to the food canister that you can see there, 576, so a 1976 ration, it also comes with 6 cans of water. In this package I have no idea what the storage conditions were, so it'll be an adventure getting into this. But the cans do look to be intact, not a lot of damage and not a lot of rust on the water canisters. They look pretty good, again a 1976 date code. This kit does come with a can opener and a bag for storing the kit and any leftover contents. So without further ado, let's get into this main food canister. We'll take a quick look at the can opener. There you can see it's a small lever locking can opener. It's fairly thick steel, so it's rather sturdy for its size. There you can kind of see it's called the Vaughn's Improved Safety Roll Junior. It looks like it's produced in Chicago. Alright, let's get this thing open. Okay, so it looks like it latches on like that. And then closing down by twisting it, it should start to cut. Doesn't cut very well around the corners. There we go. Just had to get it to latch fully. Corners take a little bit of work. Alright, there you go. So there, that looks like the chocolate crunchles. It's really just kind of a mass of melted together chunks. There is kind of a stale smell coming out of here. It looks like some chocolate discs. There's 2 of those in here. Next is the fortified biscuits. They kind of look like oatmeal cookies. There's the candy pieces, and it looks like little jelly candies, sugar-coated jelly candies. They're called chuckles. And then there's a couple of loose chuckles as well. So actually, I think these are the chocolate crunchles and this is the malted milk tablets. So there's the contents of the food canister. Let's get these things opened up. So I think the easiest thing to open up is going to be the fortified biscuits. Everything is coated with a little bit of a stickiness. Get a couple of those biscuits out. Next, the chocolate, and they come wrapped in this foil. They're both kind of weathered, to say the least. The packaging is kind of crumbling. There's the chocolate. Next, we have the malted milk tablets. Let's see how to get this thing open. And everything in here has a pretty sour scent to it. Let's see if we can break a couple of these off. It's very, very sticky, almost like taffy. And kind of get a few pieces off of there. I think that's about all it's going to give. You can see a couple of the individual tablets there. There you go. Let's see which is in the better condition. This is the fruit jellies. Yeah, it shows that there's an Evel Knievel offer on back. Let's see if we can follow through on that. There's an awesome t-shirt. I'm going to send away for that. It'd be fantastic. Wonder if they'd still take this entry. I'm going to try it. There's the address if you want to send off for your t-shirt. Just enclosed $3. It's a deal. Now, these things are hard as a rock. I'm going to try to open a couple of the individually wrapped ones, and they may be in better shape. Again, these are the same candies as in the bag, it looks like. Kind of this sugar-coated jelly tablet. And all that leaves is the drinking water. So here's the canister of drinking water. Again, this is Coast Guard approved, emergency purified drinking water. Contains 10.5 ounces in each can. Again, there is the production date, and this is the cleanest can that there is, so there's no rust on the can or anything like that, so it should be in okay shape. We will find out. There is a hiss of air whenever the can's punctured. Hopefully that's a good thing. And I think I've bent the can opener, so just have to make do with what we've done. On first glance, the water is clear, which is good. Smells like nothing. There it is. So let's start taking a closer look at this stuff. So if we look on the ingredients, the worrisome thing about old food is that anything that contains oils, such as the shortening and vegetable oil in these things, as well as anything that has dry milk, those things can go bad, and especially the oils will oxidize, and that's what causes rancidity. The smell and the taste that you get from the oxidation of fats is the production of ketones and aldehydes, which don't cause any illness if you eat them. It's just very unpleasant. So anything that has oils in it from the 1970s, there's a high likelihood that you're going to run into rancid food. And it has a really sour smell to it. And that's the majority of what I'm picking up in the scent from this ration. We'll start with the biscuits, and these are the fortified oat biscuits, and they really do look like an oatmeal cookie. They're very hard, kind of hard to break. There you go. They kind of have a, looks like a more dense center. Try a bite just to see. And just from the beginning, the flavor's not bad. It is kind of a sweet oatmeal cookie flavor. You can taste a lot of sugar, really. It doesn't have a bad flavor, and I'm not picking up a lot of rancidity, so that's surprising, actually. Now, this type of chocolate typically does end up with a very sour taste. You can kind of see that it has those crispy rice pieces. The chocolate actually doesn't look too bad. The surface there's kind of some grainy stuff. I think that's just sugar. Or it actually might be salt. It does show salt on there, so we'll find out. But there you go. There's the chocolate. It does have a bit of a sour flavor, and immediately the dryness starts to hit your throat, and that's the oils that have gone rancid. It's a very unpleasant sensation. It's like the back of your throat's closing up. It's not, but really every surface of your mouth just gets intensely dry. And you can really sense it from the very second that it hits your mouth. There's not any sense of it being good at all. It's just immediately sour and has that rancid food sensation that just goes down your throat. So I won't be having any more of that. Let's take a closer look at the malted milk tablets. There you go. And I don't know what color or form they are in their original form, but they are kind of a sticky brown, taffy-like consistency. Let's see. It's very sticky. It's actually like a Tootsie Roll consistency, but again is very, very sour, and I will not be eating any more of that. There's nothing pleasant about that at all. As for the candies, let's try this red one. There you can see up close. It's kind of a sugar-coated jelly candy. Has kind of a berry scent. It's actually quite hard, though it's a little bit more pliable than the ones in the large bag. Kind of pull a piece off there. You can see the inside. It's very sweet on the outside. It's got kind of a dense gummy bear kind of texture and flavor. And that's actually not too bad. And I think that's actually a raspberry flavor, if I had to guess. There's also an orange one. It also looks to be in decent shape. That's actually not bad. It's exactly like a gumdrop that's been sitting out in a candy dish for a long time. It's kind of hard, but it's not bad. The flavor kind of tastes like dots, that gummy candy dots. That's probably the closest thing that I can think of. And last but certainly not least, the water. Nice and clear, 10.5 ounces out of that can. Has no scent, no sediment or anything like that. Actually looks pretty good. I'll prove it. And it's just water. Tastes like filtered water, purified water. Actually, surprisingly, does not have much of a metallic taste. Seems like that product has survived the years very well. This ration is about 3 years older than me, so that's remarkable. So overall, this has been a fun ration to get into. Surprisingly, the fortified biscuits are in decent shape and the candies are not bad. Everything else seems to be pretty sour and has aged as you would expect, but certainly a fun item to break into. And back in '76 it would have been very adequate to nibble for nourishment if you're on a life raft. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, thank you very much to the viewers on YouTube. Your support benefits St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, so I greatly appreciate your support. As always, thank you to the MRE review community on YouTube and on MREinfo.com. You guys are fantastic. So please stay tuned. I'll be coming back soon with a lot more content. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.